Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another video. Now this is a shoutcast and these battles were submitted to me earlier in the season, the same week we had the single type cup available. So I'm just getting around to them now because I took a break, but and I wasn't originally planning on stopping, but I'm here again. So if you would like your content submitted, the link will be in the description down below. I'd love to go ahead and take a look at it. Probably not uploading as often as I used to, but still gonna keep on the YouTube grind. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into these battles. Just click on the battles and we'll see. And we could also see that this trainer has hit legend in a previous season, right? I believe that's, I'm gonna say it's season 10, I think, with that, I think it's a Lysander pose. But either way, the team is Hitmontop, Steelix, and Tapu Fini. So let's see what Hitmontop can do. Just keep it away from those ghost types, right? But either way, this Tapu Fini is going to go ahead and go for this Moonblast. Very nice indeed. Moonblast. Not enough to KO, but can you farm down? No, you cannot farm down. The Muck is going to be able to take that matchup, unfortunately. So let's see what decides to come in. It's going to be a Hitmontop. Now, Hitmontop is a Pokemon I've never built for the Ultra League. I have one for the Great League. I've never built it for the Ultra League. More or less a spicy pick, but very cool nonetheless. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out Giratina, and out comes Cresselia. So Cresselia, that's why you have Crunch on his Steelix, right? Crunch is super effective towards Cresselia. Now, it actually doesn't do too much. It's non-stab from Steelix, but if you get the defense drop, obviously the additional ones will do more. Plus the Dragon Tail is adding up, but Cresselia is really tanky, a Pokemon I really need to use. By the way, I know this mic is kind of in the way, or not really the mic, yeah. The thing attached to it, I kind of need to get, I want to get headphones and just record with that. I'll probably do that, or headset. I do plan on doing that. But either way, moving on, continuing on with the battle, the Steelix will be able to get to this Crunch right now. And very nice indeed. Out comes Giratina. Giratina with the attack, gonna go ahead and throw it into the Steelix. It's gonna be a Shadow Sneak. Steelix is gonna be able to eat that easily because Steelix is so tanky. So Crunch is coming out. And gonna go ahead and switch into the Hitmontop. Now I did say keep this away from ghost types, but Stone Edge, it might be in Stone Edge range. The only thing is, they still have a shield. So will you be able to win this? You can't bait with the close combat, because if you do, the close combat will just lower your defense, right? So the opponent does shield, which is good, but does the Hitmontop reach another Stone Edge? I actually don't know if it does. I feel like it doesn't, but let's find out. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and go for the close combat. Yeah, I don't think they would have reached the Stone Edge, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and go for the close combat, and luckily that is enough to KO it, but that Cresselia still has health left. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter because one Grass Knot is not going to be able to KO the Steelix. You need two. Steelix is really tanky. I think I mentioned it, but it's super thick in the Ultra League, especially if it's an XL1. I don't know if this one is, but regardless, good game. Okay, looking at a Dragonite. Now, Shadow Dragonite is relatively common in the lead for sure. So kind of tough. Gonna maybe try and catch, not able to do so. Out comes Tentacruel. So this is really bad because Tentacruel does wall Tapu Fini because it does resist all of these attacks. So to be honest, if you're the Tentacruel, you can just farm down, which is not good. You don't like it. Unless if you're the opponent, right? So the opponent is just gonna farm down. Yeah, you can't even make it to another Moonblast. So really bad situation, but let's see what happens. The Tentacruel is low, but it does have a lot of energy. It's max energy at this point. So the Tentacruel is going to go ahead and throw an attack. Hitmontop just going to let it go. Kind of going to rely on that Steelix, I guess. Going to go for this close combat. This will be enough to finish off the Tentacruel, but I imagine they let it go as they do. So Dragonite is coming in. Okay, yeah, I mean, the Dragon Tail, you could just... Okay, it looks like the Steelix did click on the attack. I feel like you could have farmed that down. You would have had to shield this, but you would have been able to farm it down. But either way, this Psychic Fangs actually will pick up the shield, so maybe not. Maybe they can make it to another move. Now, you don't have the Earthquake, but the Crunch will still do a lot. Let's see if the Ampharos decides to shield this, because they did protect that Dragonite, so Dragonite might be able to make it to another attack. Now the question is, do they have Focus Blast, and do they go for it? That is a Focus Blast, and they go for it. Now you're gonna go ahead and go for the Psychic Fangs. I don't know if the Dragonite can make a superpower, but even if it does it KO? Does it KO? And they do make an attack, but I don't think it KOs a superpower. I do not think KOs a Steelix. It does not. But even if it did, you could farm down with the Hitmontop, which is exactly what we see. Very well played. So it goes to show you, you could win the game even if you lose the lead and lose the secondary matchup. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it is a possibility, and it has happened to all of us. Well, most of us. But either way, Hitmontop is going to go ahead and go for this close combat. Will it Pidgeot shield? They will, because that would still do a lot of damage. Now, unfortunately, this is definitely going to be a Feather Dance. So you don't want to shield that, but... Oh, Giratina coming in. Okay. So, you would think that you have a great matchup with the Feeny, but it's not as good as it looks. Well, it is when they throw Dragon Claw, but generally speaking, it's not as good as it looks because the Water Gun damage is resisted, Surf is resisted. You have to go for that Moonblast, and if they shield it up, that's not great. Maybe the opponent misclicked, but let's see what they go for. Another Dragon Claw. Who knows? It could be single moves, but no matter what other move you have, Ancient Power, Shadow, Sneak, you want to go for the other move if it's not single moved. If it's single moved, obviously, you just go for the Dragon Claws. But this Feeny will go ahead and go for the Moonblast. It's not able to even KO it. Giratina will make it to another attack. That's going to be a Dragon Claw, yeah, as expected at this point in time. It's probably single moved. Pidgeot is coming in, which is fine. Pidgeot is coming in and it is farming down. Steelix is coming in. Now, Steelix does resist every move Pidgeot has to offer, which is good. So Feather Dance, Brave Bird. Do they Feather Dance? They do Feather Dance. They just want to debuff. So when Cobalion comes in, but the Hitmontop does a good job of... I don't know if I'd necessarily say walling it because these Sacred Swords are neutral, but it does a good job of handling it, if you will, right? I mean, these close combat attacks are just going to KO. So down it goes, and the Steelix is going to be easily able to handle this Pidgeot, no doubt about it. So yeah, if you're looking for a good Pokemon for Cobalion, Hitmontop, not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, the Steelix is just going to farm down the Pidgeot. The opponent fighting until the bitter end, though. I respect that. So Feather Dance is not going to KO, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played to both trainers. We are moving on. So yeah, as I said, this was early in the season. So if you're watching this, my friend, let me know, or let us know how you're doing now, right? Did you hit Legend? Did you hit Expert? Because this was, as I mentioned, early in the season when the Ultra League was originally here. So I'm curious to hear how you're doing now. Okay, Steelix is going to be able to take that, although it still does a lot of damage. Another one will easily KO. I imagine you could flip this matchup, but you would have to invest shields. And it looks like Steelix is going to go ahead and do just that. So Hydro Cannon would KO. At this point, you just throw the Psychic Fangs as soon as possible because this will debuff. So even though they shield, they do debuff. And yeah, you would have to shield, but you can win this matchup. And that's exactly what Steelix will do. And you will come out with an attack. So I do think that was a good play because you do have the Psychic Fangs ready to go. Might as well just throw it immediately. And winning switch there 100% was worth it because now you could align the Feeny onto this Charizard, right? And Feeny doesn't really need shields against Charizard, but what's in the back? OMG, it's a Wolverine. Your attacks are doing super effective damage. They do get to an attack, but is it enough for Earthquake? Hopefully not. It is, unfortunately. Oh, but it still doesn't KO. This is the Ultra League. I was thinking maybe it would KO because that's a Shadow Wolverine, but it did not. I guess because this, again, is the Ultra League, but down goes the Wolverine. Charizard comes in, and you're looking really good here. You survived multiple Blast Burns. You should be able to tank 2 of them, right? It is resisted. Well, actually, hold up. Yeah, you have to farm down. Ooh, you actually don't survive this. You actually don't? Okay. Charizard count as Tapu Fini confirmed. I stand correct. Forget what I said. Forget everything I learned. I haven't learned a thing. Alright, let's go ahead and move into the next one. I mean, Shadow Charizard's Blast Burn damage is no joke, though. I once shielded a Blast Burn from a Shadow Charizard, with my I had a jealous just because of how much damage it does. But either way, okay, all right. So we're looking at an attack, Hitmontop in to swamp it. You'll probably pick up a shield here, and then that was CMP. So do you shield? You do shield. You do want to get the other shield or KO the swamp it. Oh, they actually go for Earthquake. Okay, very interesting. At that point, I mean, since you were debuffed, Hydro Cannon most likely would have KO'd. But either way, that's fine. So Grass Knot, probably, yeah, they do have Grass Knot. So not great, but the thingy, we'll go ahead and go for this Moonblast right now. Let's get it. Okay, Moonblast. Oh, and that attack drop, that is huge. That it really is huge, because I actually think you survive this and get to an attack now. Let's see. Grass Knot, never mind, you don't survive. Okay, you still don't survive it, but the attack drop still helps you. So able to get to this crunch, very nice indeed. Now this won't KO, but you could probably, or probably should just farm down afterwards, which is exactly what will happen. But no, the switch into Obstagoon, but out comes Hitmontop, and you do have 2 close combats ready to go right now. So if they want to shield this, they're gonna still take one. Yeah, they let it go. So Cresselia is coming in, just gonna go ahead and go for the close combat just to get rid of the Cresselia. They do actually shield it because the Cresselia does have an attack and it wants to take out the Hitmontop. So that is exactly why Future Sight will easily take it out. Steelix will be able to farm that down, no problem. And they do have an attack, but a Hydro Cannon is not going to KO. I don't even think an Earthquake would. Maybe an Earthquake would, because that did a lot of damage. But I know Steelix is so tanky in the Ultra League, but again, I don't know if this one is an XL one. I don't know the IVs. But regardless, it really is a thick Pokemon. Anyway, beautiful games. Well played. Picking up a medal in GBL as well. But either way, that's going to be it for these videos. If you would like to submit your content, the link will be in the description down below. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.